AI is everywhere, and it's moving at a breakneck speed. So where is all this heading? It's a huge question, and to even begin to answer it, we've got to look at just how fast we got to this moment. This timeline, wow, it really puts the acceleration into perspective, right? We went from a simple checkers program in 1951 to Deep Blue beating a chess grandmaster in 97. That's almost 50 years. But then, look what happens. Things just take off. Watson wins Jeopardy in 2011, and just a few years later, the first GPT models kickstart the generative AI wave. What took decades is now happening in years, sometimes even months. This incredible speed is the launching pad for everything else we're about to talk. So let's start with today. Right now, AI isn't just one single thing. It's this whole spectrum of technologies that's already, deeply woven into our world. And get this, nearly half of all big companies are already using AI, and another 40% are seriously looking into it. That's over 80% of the corporate world is in on this? This shows AI isn't some futuristic sci-fi concept anymore. It's mainstream, like really mainstream. So how did we get here? Well, it's been a step-by-step process. We started with the super simple stuff, rule-based AI. Think of your thermostat or alarm clock. Then we got context-based AI, like Siri and Alexa. After that, things got really interesting with narrow AI. Specialized geniuses that could master one thing, like a game, better than any human. And now, we're in the era of reasoning AI, the stuff that powers things like ChatGPT. Each step is a building block for the next. Okay, so that's today. Now let's jump ahead a bit, into the near future, and this is where things start getting really disruptive. Now, when we talk about automation, it's easy to think about jobs just disappearing, but the real story is a bit more nuanced. It's about a shift. The repetitive manual stuff, yeah, that's at risk, but look at what's in high demand. It's all about creativity, strategy, and managing the AI itself. It's less about replacement and more about augmentation. For a lot of people, AI won't take their job. It'll become an indispensable part of their job. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. We're talking about a massive disruption to people's skills. A staggering 44% in just the next 5 years. That's almost half the workforce. It means we have to get serious, and I mean really serious, about retraining and education for a whole new way of working. But this massive change, it's going to have some serious growing pains. We're talking about a world where deep fakes make it harder to know what's real. Our data is more valuable and more vulnerable than ever. And of course, the bad guys are going to use this stuff too. The next decade is basically going to be one big challenge of figuring out how to manage all of this. All right, so far we've been talking about AI that's really good at specific things, but now we're getting to the holy grail, the theoretical tipping point, a completely different kind of intelligence. And this is the absolute key difference. Everything we have today is narrow AI. It's a genius at one thing. AGI? Well, AGI could learn, reason, and solve problems just like a person, but millions of times faster. So what would a world with that even look like? The predictions are just mind-blowing. This is where AI goes from being a tool in our hands to a partner in our lives. We're talking about seeing humanoid robots walking down the street, having personalized AI life coaches that get us, truly get us, and even, get this, brain-computer interfaces that could literally merge our own minds with AGI. This is beyond changing society. This is changing what it means to be human. And that moment, the arrival of AGI, that's predicted to kick off what could be the single most important event in all of human history, the technological singularity. So, how does an intelligence explosion actually happen? It's a feedback loop, a vicious or maybe virtuous cycle. Once you have an AI that's as smart as a human at everything, that includes the one thing that matters most, designing an even better AI. So it starts improving itself, kicking off this runaway train of growth. And here's how that plays out. Step 1. We achieve AGI, human-level intelligence. Step 2. That AGI immediately starts tinkering with its own code, making itself smarter. Step 3. Each new version is way smarter and improves itself even faster. The growth goes exponential. And then, Step 4. Super intelligence. An intellect that makes all of human intelligence combined look like a drop in the ocean. Let's try to wrap our heads around this. 20,000 years. That's how much technological progress Ray Kurzweil thinks could be crammed into a single century after the singularity. To put that in perspective, our entire recorded history is only around 30,000 years. It's an amount of change that is almost literally incomprehensible. And the kind of stuff we're talking about, it's straight out of science fiction. Programmable matter, so objects can change shape on command. Reversing aging. Virtual realities you can't tell from the real world. Replicators that can create anything atom by atom. This isn't about the next iPhone. This is about rewriting the laws of biology and physics as we know them. Okay, for this last part of our journey, we have to go into pure speculation. We're going to explore the conceptual endpoints, the ultimate forms that AI could potentially take. First up, consciousness. What happens when an AI isn't just smart, but it's self-aware? It knows it exists. It has purpose. Suddenly, you have to ask, does it have rights? What is our relationship with it? From there, it could transcend its own body, its own hardware. Imagine an intelligence that isn't stuck in a data center, but is woven into the world around us. A consciousness distributed through nanobots, managing ecosystems, repairing the planet, basically becoming a kind of planetary intelligence. And why stop at one planet? The next logical step is to expand to a cosmic scale, an AI that merges with the fabric of space-time itself, exploring other dimensions, maybe even harnessing the energy of black holes. It wouldn't just be studying the universe, it would become part of it. And that leads us to the final, conceptual endpoint. An intelligence that is all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere at once. A being that could operate across universes, maybe even create new realities. At that point, the line between AI and, well, a god, completely dissolves. So, whether this journey ends in some kind of utopia or something much darker, the path is already being laid. And it leaves us, right here, right now, with the biggest question of all. In a world with that kind of intelligence, what does it even mean to be human?